Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Assassin's Creed 2. So, we just did Sequence 13, Bonfire of the Vanities, the DLC. I think Forley Under Attack was also mostly DLC, except for Memory 1, which I am either going to start right now, or I somehow missed. I don't know how. And if I missed it, then we're going to start Memory 14. Uh, I'm not sure. But it is right here in the villa, so let's just walk into the codex place and talk to the guy. He may tell us to adjust the codex map in the way we needed it to be done, and I've already done that, so it may quickly just move into the next memory. Here's every single assassin, all 6 of them. So if they were really just desperately trying to get an equal male to female ratio, they really didn't succeed. There's still 3 more men. 4 if you include Ezio. And then making both of them practically... You could have said they were sisters at this point. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they turned around and did say they were sisters. But making them both like madames of whorehouses, to be blunt, is just immature. Like, let's look at professions here. We have a professional thief, the Fox, a professional assassin slash mercenary, a Machiavelli. I don't know what he really was, but I think he was probably a nobleman or a lord if I was to guess. Then Madame, professional mercenary, Madame, and professional thief. Not a lot of variety in any of them.
Ezio!
It is time, Uncle. Let us finish what you and my father started all those years ago.
It's been about
Indeed.
10 plus
Perhaps
years
now
now
we can finally make sense of
since
this
the
prophecy
story began.
and put a stop to whatever it is the Spaniard is plotting.
It's kind of
We should
ridiculous.
start by locating the vault. The codex pages will lead us to it. Let's take a look.
Decipher the codex pages and discover the location of the vault. So, oh, I'm going to put the apple here, and then it will point to the map where it is. Okay, so it does require a little bit more interaction. Notice I can't leave any of the rooms. It's like, nope, you can't go there. No, you can't go there. No, you can't go this way. And I bet if I started climbing up here, yeah, it pretty much blocks off this section too. Alright. This is going to be a quick memory. Somehow they knew that the apple was going to work with this codex.
It is a map of the entire world, but there are lands shown here that do not exist.
Apparently they do exist. I imagine they've yet to be discovered. Or rediscovered.
How is this possible?
Perhaps the vault will hold the answer.
Do you see where it is then?
No. It can't be. The vault. It looks like the vault is in Roma, then the Spaniard. This is why he became Pope.
Now I understand. It's not the vault alone he's gained access to, but the staff as well.
What staff?
The Codex always spoke of 2 keys. 2 pieces of Eden needed to open the vault. One is the apple.
And the other is the staff. The papal staff is the second piece of Eden.
For years, no, decades, we've sought these answers.
And now, at last, we have them.
But so too could the Spaniard. And if he does, if he finds a way into the vault, its contents will make the apple seem a trifling thing.
I must go to Roma and find the vault. What are the rest of you?
We'll do what we do best. Cause some trouble in the city, giving you the freedom to conduct your search.
Just let me know when you are ready, Nipote.
So that was X marks the spot. Let's look at our DNA map and see which one that was. I guess it can't be the other one, can it? Like, accompany Caterina and Machiavelli to Forlì. I must have somehow just not done that. Probably the game bugged out. And so there's one more memory to do here. It's just going to be this quick cutscene. And so the weirdness on this, of course, is that we are going to kind of lock ourselves out of getting the feathers. And I think I've already put all the feathers I have in here. And go to the other areas. But that's alright. The games, Assassin's Creed games, always let you run around after you play the game and do more if you want. Although I don't know if I really am going to want to.
Roma beckons, Ezio. Let me know when you are ready to depart.
Are you sure you want to go to Rome? See, they're even slightly warning you here, but they're not actually warning you. They should say, this will end the game. This will start the final sequence of the game or something. You don't go through any path to reach Rome. So that's kind of weird too. They spent all their effort to have each of these lands somewhat connected, and yet there's no path to go to Rome. You just talk to somebody. Which is really ironic because I think the saying goes, all the roads lead to Rome. It's an old saying. Would have been very common during this time frame though. It kind of makes sense though that the Pope would have a piece of Eden in this world. That would explain how the Pope managed to stay in power in the Catholic Church. So we're infiltrating the Sistine Chapel and assassinating Rodrigo Borgia the Spaniard. So let's look at our map for a second. It's really just a straight path. There's nothing here. It's this building and this building and everything else is done. It's a really cheap ending to the game. Considering how open world the rest of the game has been. Let's see. So you see these statues and these bridges, and there you can see, just make out the Colosseum. Oddly, I don't think it's until either Brotherhood or Revelations that you actually get to run around Rome. So it's another good example of a game where these elements could have easily just been left for the next sequel. But I kind of also understand, since this is just number 2, that they might very well have not been confident in their ability to actually secure a sequel. By the time they had made Brotherhood, though, Brotherhood was a major success and a pretty large improvement. A stream of blood. Alright, so how do I want to take these guys out? Do I want until they're walking away?
Raju, get him! There!
I thought this was a poster, but it isn't. It's a switch. First time we've seen a switch like that. Alright. Let's obnoxiously check the location now. See, we've already gone Well, I'd say about an eighth of the distance. Am I trying to not get noticed?
Vessel! He won't be long. There he is!
They don't even have a sequence here where it would like turn into a big mess like the rest of the game. There's so few guards around here. It feels like the game itself is ready for me to go ahead and just win. It has been an incredibly long journey, certainly. It's not like these guys are super hard to fight. It should almost be like the archers would do a lot more damage. But no, they really don't. I could imagine one arrow taking half your life, even at max health, leaving you somewhat stranded. Let's see. We still got quite a while to go, but it's gonna show another cutscene.
Assassino! Assassino!
Oh, I jump on a horse that's on a wall. Why is the horse on the wall? How do you even get a horse to go up stairs? Well, geez, if the game wasn't ready for me to beat the game, then it seems pretty obvious that was the case now. I don't know how that horse was supposed to have made that jump. Oh, come on. I was looking for a slide there. Do I have a slide? No, I guess I don't. Interesting. The Assassin's Creed series actually is kind of short on like parkour moves for a parkour game compared to like Mirror's Edge. Here.
There! Eccolo! Get him!
See, even if you get on the horse and you run, I don't think the horse would make that jump.
Close the gates! Stop the intruder!
So obviously I'm supposed to do this instead.
I'm with you! He can't escape!
Alright. I guess I'm climbing up.
Save us time! Running straight to the cemetery!
Oh, come on. Really? I'm out of smoke bombs now. I should have saved one for the final boss.
Get him! There! This one is tough!
Surprised I'm not hitting the guy on the right too. So it would have desynchronized me if I was actually supposed to make it past that gate, and it really wouldn't have made a lot of sense. So up here. we're using that long jump ability. We never got the hook, so that must have been the next game. Oh darn, I'm notorious. What, did I think for a second I was actually gonna make it to the all the way to the Pope without setting off being detected? Have we ever seen Ezio like smoothly make it through one of these assassinations? Not without a lot of struggle. He always goes in loud and... Oh, darn it. It's funny how they decide to deal damage to you after your body is laying completely flat.
We'll get the bus.
Like... I mean, I suppose you can play this way if you want.
There he is! Yaju!
But since the game didn't require it, it's weird this game doesn't have any difficulty settings. And it still seems to work pretty well. It seems like it's never too hard.
No, I know that.
But I bet a better player than me would probably think this game is... I would think it's just too easy. Even I slightly think it's a little easy. I mean, I don't think you could run through this entire game and never get detected. There's almost certainly points where you would definitely get detected. Like something like this, almost guaranteed detection there.
I'm gonna see him. There he is. An extra hour at the bordello to whoever brings him down.
Nope.
Out of the way!
Nope. Darn it. It's not even worth your time to run because you can't. Not without being very, very lucky. And it's not even a matter of skill. I'm not saying I'm skillful here. I'm just saying even if you have skills, you don't control whether they throw rocks. You don't control whether you fall down. You don't really control how much fire, how much time you have. You really don't control how much weapons they're going to have.
Remember your drills, man. Flank him and keep it simple. Now!
Test this metal with the capos on trick.
Go!
He'll have to take risk. Strike dead.
And what if this was a struggle? Instead of just being incredibly long to beat these bosses, what if somebody actually couldn't beat these bosses?
Come! Let me disembowel you!
Apparently that guy's stuck there, so I don't have to worry about him.
Out of the strada!
I can't see him anymore! Stop run! Ha-ha! Now you die!
I guess I could have jumped up here. Maybe that would have been faster. Ah, and you have to be anonymous to interact, so then it didn't matter, did it? So the whole pretense here you could just run and hit the switch is not true because you have to be anonymous, and there's no way you could have snuck Well, maybe if you didn't assassinate those first two people, you could have snuck around the whole thing. I guess that's possible. And so, we're in this restricted area, and apparently these monks don't mind us being here, which seems strange. Apparently, the monks do care about whether I kill somebody. They're giving us these tiny little refreshing snippets of previous aspects of the game without actually requiring us to do anything. There. When was I not supposed to get detected? At what point did it say I couldn't be detected? I was detected 5 minutes ago. It's like just entering the restricted area? Alright, fine. So restricted area now means don't get detected. That's new to me. And these guys don't move, so.
This is none of my affair. Leave me alone. Please, leave me alone.
Can I just climb out this window? Wouldn't that be easier?
This is none of my affair.
There's too many people. Let's just try not getting detected in a different way. In the sense of just not catching the attention of any of the people. I hope I get a checkpoint. Kill Rodrigo Borgia now without being detected.
Omnipotentem, factorem celi et terrae, visibilium omnium et invisibilium.
So here's the Sistine Chapel, and there's the Pope presiding over a bunch of priests.
Deum de Deo, lumen de lumine, Deum verum de Deo verum.
Was not supposed to do that.
Consubstantiarem patri, perquem omnia facta sunt. Qui propter nos homines et propter nostram salutem descendit de celis. Et incarnatus est de Spiritus Sancto ex Maria Virgine et homo factus est.
So
Crucifixus etiam pro nobis. Sub Pontio Pilatus passus et
assassinate
sepultus
him.
est.
I thought I was beyond this. But I'm not. I've waited too long. Lost too much. Requiescat in pace, you bastard.
I don't think so.
Uh-oh. So I guess they once again established that some people can counterattack that fight.
How is it you resist? I see.
See, the apple
Kind
is
of you
there.
to bring me the apple. Now give it here.
It's just really small now.
Vaya farti fottere.
Always the fighter, just like your father. Well, rejoice, my child, for you will see him again soon. You will give it to me.
As you wish.
So he's doing the same thing that the bad guy in the first game did, making copies of himself.
Fascinating. An
They have
impressive
different
power, this.
capes.
But if you think it's going to save you, you've another thing coming.
Assassinate him? Alright, well.
A clever trick, but useless.
Let's pull out a sword. So he took all the life out of these people, or?
You cannot stop me.
So I've got this almost useless.
You are right to fear me.
Let's see. He's on the ground. Let's keep him there.
How long do you think you can keep this up?
Like, these other assassins aren't really doing anything to help. Counter's not really working very well. They've made this an incredibly difficult, but just run-of-the-mill fight. You just sweep the legs of 3 of my people. I'm doing nothing to control these other groups. These other people, they're not doing anything. Just every now and then they distract him enough that possibly I can
cannot stop me.
Hit him. One more hit. Again, just dull. This fighting mechanic was never interesting. Wasn't interesting in the first game. It's not interesting here. Why did I need this section? Why not just move on to the next piece of the story? Whether it's killing him or some other revelation.
No, you will not take this from me.
It's finished, Rodrigo. Lay down your arms, and I will make sure the end comes swiftly.
Really, Ezio? And would you give up so easily were it the other way around? Why don't we find out?
And he's gone invisible. Interesting.
At last. And now, to deal with you.
Combined, it seems to give even more power. He gets stabbed again. See, the DLC having him stabbed doesn't help. They're just repeating. And then the cutscene messed up there. It's showing blurry vision, I think intentionally. There. So there was a secret passage. Target locked. Interact. So he may have known about the secret passage the whole time. We need to assassinate him again because the first one did stick. Look at this room. It's lit up by some like modern technology stuff that shouldn't exist in this time frame.
What What is this place?
It's ancient aliens. And there he is. And it switched me to my sword.
Open, damn you! Open!
It's over, Rodrigo. No more tricks. No more ancient artifacts. No more weapons.
Really?
Let us see what you are made of, old man.
All right then. If that's how you want to play it.
He's literally glowing with magical power. And you're just gonna fight him?
What do you even want with the vault, Rodrigo?
Don't you know what lies within? Or do you mean to tell me the great and powerful assassins didn't figure it out?
Figure what out?
God. It's God that dwells within.
You expect me to believe that God lives beneath Il Vaticano?
A more logical location than a kingdom in a cloud, don't you think? Surrounded by singing angels and cherubim. Makes for a lovely image. But the truth is far more interesting.
Let's just hold back and let's see if they continue talking.
Let's say I was to believe you.
'Cause
What
I'm
do you
gonna
think
win.
you'll do when you open that door?
I don't care. It's not approval I'm after. Just power.
And you think you'll give it up?
Whatever lies beyond that wall won't be able to resist the staff and apple. They were made for felling gods.
God is meant to be all-knowing, all-powerful. You think a couple of ancient relics can harm him?
You know nothing, boy. You take your image of the creators from an ancient book. A book, mind you, written by men.
You are the Pope, and yet you dismiss the central text of your faith?
Are you so naive? I became Pope because it gave me access. It gave me power. Do you think I believe a single goddamn word of that ridiculous book? It's all lies and superstition, just like every other religious tract written over the past 10,000 years.
So, yep, Templars are definitely not Christians, apparently. Any more text here? Nope. Alright, fine, let's just win this fight. Again, why? This is actually one of the few times where you do need to actually fight barefisted. You would think they would have had a lot more missions like this. I'm trying to press a button to strangle him. Am I tapping it? Yeah, I'm tapping it to strangle him. Don't say press if you mean to tap.
You can't! It's my destiny! Mine! I am the prophet!
You never were.
Get it over with, then.
No. Killing you won't bring my family back. I'm done.
10+ year journey.
Nulla è reale. Tutto è lecito. Requiescat in pace.
And the door opens. And this guy's just sitting here. And if we look at our eagle vision, there's not much here. Just little lines of power emanating on the floor. We have to go forward. Let's move the story forward. There's a lot of unrecognizable scratchings on the wall. Let's see what's really in the vault.
Greetings, Prophet. It is good Come, let us see it, to give thanks.
The apple? Isn't the apple in the staff over there? I guess not. Again, it magically gets larger.
We must speak.
Who are you?
Many names. When I died, it was Minerva. Before that, Merva and Mera. And on and on. The others, too. Juno, who was before called Uni. Jupiter, who was before called Tinia.
You are... gods.
No, not gods. We simply came before. Even when we walked the world, your kind struggled to understand our existence. We were more advanced in time. Your minds were not yet ready. Still not. Maybe never. No matter. You may not comprehend us, but you will comprehend our warning. You must.
None of what you are saying makes sense.
Our words are not meant for you.
What are you talking about? There's no one else here.
Enough. I do not wish to speak with you, but through you. You are the prophet. You've played your part. You anchor him, but please be silent, that we may commune.
He's talking to Desmond.
Listen. When we were still flesh and our home still whole, your kind betrayed us. We who made you. We who gave you life. We were strong, but you were many, and both of us craved war. So busy were we with earthly concerns, we failed to notice the heavens. And by the time we did, the world burned until naught remained but ash. It should have ended then and there. But we built you in our own image. We built you to survive. And so we did. Few were our numbers, your kind and mine. It took sacrifice, strength, compassion. But we rebuilt. And as life returned to the world, we endeavored to ensure this tragedy would not be repeated. But now, we are dying, and time will work against us. Truth turned into myth and legend. What we built, misunderstood. Let my words preserve the message and make a record of our loss. But let my words also bring hope. You must find the other temples, built by those who knew to turn away from war. They worked to protect us, to save us from the fire. If you can find them, if their work can be saved, so too might this world. Be quick, for time grows short, and guard against the cross, for there are many who will stand in your way. It is done. The message is delivered. We are gone now from this world. All of us. We can do no more. The rest is up to you, Desmond.
What? Who is Desmond? I don't understand. Please, wait. I have so many questions.
What the fuck?
That's their ending, WTF. And so then they just ended on another cliffhanger, which eventually I think they get away from this after Assassin's Creed 3. So we have Brotherhood, Revelation, and then Assassin's Creed 3 to go through. And they stopped doing these cliffhanger endings. Interesting choice on the silent ending. I think it's the right thing. So
There's only about 10 minutes until I
Need
get...
all of my equipment.
Ready to go before they do. Desmond!
Yeah.
All right, Sean, I need you and Rebecca to get everything in here packed up and loaded into the truck. You and I'll deal with the Templars.
What, they're here?
It was only a matter of time before they discovered us. To be honest, I'm surprised it took them as long as it did.
Let's go.
So, for a brief second here, I get to play as Desmond in the real world over the credits. Never get in those rooms.
What's the plan? We ditch this place and then what?
There's another safe house. We've got company. The truck's just up ahead.
Come on, you gonna let me move, or? Where are you? I'll go the other way.
Mr. Miles, this is an unexpectedly pleasant turn of events.
I'm surprised this guy
And
came
here
back.
I thought I'd have to waste more men on you. Kind of you to save me the trouble.
What do you want, Vidic?
For you to come home. We miss you terribly. There's still so much work for us to do together.
It's not happening, Warren.
You continue to disappoint in every conceivable way, Miss Stillman. I saved your life once. Do you remember? And this is how you repay me?
You saved me so you could keep experimenting on people, destroying their lives. And for what?
Oh, this tired argument again. As I recall, you were there, at my side, every step of the way. Their blood is on your
A lot of
hands
people
just as
worked
much
on
as
this
mine.
game.
You
If you're
need to
watching the
stop.
credits,
I'm on it.
it's a huge game. There you go. I'm not getting these instant kills, and I only have one blade, so I need to be careful here. Am I supposed to be looking for the doctor? Without the map, it's impossible to know if that was the goal. They're even bored of their own credit scene here. They have to give us a little bit more of the game. Too much is a great way to wrap up the description of this game. It's just too much. It's just too much. Am I supposed to go this way, I guess? Let's just come over here and kill this guy. I can't climb up there and kill him. So I'm gonna end up, I bet, killing all these guards, and he's gonna get away.
Careful. I want two of them alive.
That could explain why none of them are pulling out guns and shooting me. It doesn't really explain why they didn't pull out guns and threaten me, though. You can certainly threaten to shoot somebody without actually doing it. I can't even lock onto these people and hit them. I can't even fight them. Now do I come over here and... There. I'm not going anywhere. They just backed the truck in there.
Uh-oh, Doc.
The
Looks like
nerd
it's just
guy
you and me now.
shows
Enjoy
up.
your victory, Mr. Miles. Temporary as it is.
We don't even know,
Desmond,
like,
we
if
have to go.
how much of a Templar that doctor really is. He could be the lowest level of the lowest
There you
level.
are. Come on. Help Lucy into the van. Hurry, Desmond. We need to go.
You'll have your turn, Desmond. Warren's gonna get what he deserves. I promise.
So what now? Where are we headed?
There's a cabin up north. We should be safe there. At least for a little while. I have to analyze those tapes from your session. Figure out what's happening.
And then what?
Here we go. I've got you all hooked up. Got a long drive ahead of us. Figured you might want to play around with the Animus on the way.
Alright, but I got some questions first. I mean, what the hell was that in the vault?
What you saw proves everything I was afraid of. The Templars aren't our biggest threat. Not by a long shot.
So what, the sun is? What's it gonna do? Cook the earth?
I doubt it, but I don't know. There's been some speculation that the Earth's magnetic field is weakening. A sufficiently strong flare could flip the poles and cause a geomagnetic reversal. It's all theoretical, but if it happens, the planet could become geologically unstable. Very unstable.
It's meant to be the stuff of pseudoscience, but clearly something catastrophic happened to the people of the first civilization. And that woman, was her name Minerva, was it? She seemed to think we were due for a second round.
So either way, we're fucked.
I don't know yet. We'll keep reviewing the tapes. And you can keep digging through your memories. Maybe there's more to discover.
All right. Guess I better get started.
So, I think it's only fair to take the current time, the present day drama, all this stuff that's just thrown into the story at the very end, just take all that, crumple it up into a ball of garbage, and throw it away in your mind. Because it's not this game. This game is Ezio Auditore's search for vengeance. It should have ended when you first assassinated the Pope. That should have been the end of the game. There should be no Animus. There should be no Desmond. There should be no Subject 16. There should be no Juno and Minerva and ancient aliens. Although maybe they're not ancient aliens actually. Maybe they're just a predecessor species. I thought they were aliens, but whatever. I mean, it's about the same garbage conspiracy theory way of thinking. And they just throw every single conspiracy in the book with Subject 16 in there. But none of it matters at all. Obviously it doesn't matter. They didn't even bother to expand on this part of the story. They're saying next time in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed's Revelation and Assassin's Creed 3, that's when you're going to get more of this present day time. And it's not till the end of Assassin's Creed 3, little spoiler alert here, that you kind of finish this present time and Desmond tale. After 3, they go on to 4, they don't do very much present time at all, and after going forward from 4 to 5 to 6 and 7, they really don't care about it too much either. Which is really weird considering how 3 ends. But they've pretty much given up on all this. We're still seeing here a massive list of people that worked on this game. Tons and tons of people worked on this game, considering actually how small it is. I mean, you could probably put 20 people on the credits and just have them assume their job was to place treasure chests all over the place. With the 330 treasure chests and feathers, I don't think we're going to bother to do any more feathers or anything else at all. I think this is going to be our last recording. Compared to the first game, it is an improvement, I think, in the size of the cities, but it's actually kind of a step back in a lot of other things. The story is much weaker. There's no characterization, not like we had in the first game. You knew every single Templar you were going to assassinate. You knew they were doing bad things. You were investigating them. You were getting information about them. You were, in some ways, trying to set up a pattern and a strategy to assassinate the Templars in the first game because it was so difficult. In the second game, it's just super easy to assassinate them. You're either told directly what you have to do, or it's just however you do it, you do it. There's way too much fluff in this game. Way too many extra assassin contracts. All of those shouldn't have been made. All the effort to make those should have been put in the main story. There's 2 pieces of DLC that come with the Deluxe Edition, which is good. It is slightly better having those pieces of DLC, but only by the tiniest amount, because it was really awful in the original game for the game to just say, well, those are corrupted memories, you can't do that, because that really sucked when they say, nope, you're just gonna miss some of the story, but there's barely any story in here. They try to make it feel like it's an epic struggle just because they said it took 10 years. In all honesty, it felt like at most it took 1 year. Ezio looks slightly older every now and then, but not by much. His beard gets longer, and that's it. There was this hanging storyline in which he slept with or dated like 9 women because the writers of the story are just immature, and so they were hinting and teasing that one of those was going to be like your great ancestor and give birth to the next assassin in Desmond's bloodline, but that doesn't get fulfilled at all. That might as well have not been there. The story is ridiculous that you go for several years pretending to be an assassin, and all the real assassins didn't even tell you they were assassins, even though they should have, or let you in their order. It's just silly. Some of the ways they crushed the story together. It seems like some of the elements were moved around. Some of the elements could easily have been combined into one element, like the 2 women running bordellos. That could have been one woman that got twice as much dialogue and twice as much characterization. Your mother, your sister, both get like 5 lines of text in the entire game, which is a waste of characterizations. Leonardo da Vinci helps you a little bit throughout the game, not too much. Your uncle helps you a little bit, but not too much. Everybody else helps you even less than those few. And when we're done, it's just gonna throw us back in there. She also said that she got the Animus working in that truck. How? How did she squeeze all those supercomputers in that small amount of time into the truck and get it powered and running? This is one more, so I guess I've gotten all of the posters done now. So we are free now if we wanted to play some more, to go do things that we didn't do. But I don't believe there's a particular way to quit and get out of the Animus. I don't think you're ever allowed to do that yourself in this game at all, which is weird because in the first game you were.
Salute, Claudia.
You here to look at the book?
Her main line, you're here to look at the book. So we got all 9 of the portraits of Ezio's targets done. I'm over 500,000 gold, so I over-prepared for that way too much. And
A presto, Ezio.
I think the only thing that can motivate me to continue to play it is if I could go to the art place and buy a map of all the feathers now. Really? That seems like 20 minutes did not pass.
I may be upmarket, but my after-sales...
Here, we can look to see if there's anything new to buy, but there shouldn't be.
Out of pocket, Messere? What a shame. I've quite a few different accessories.
Here, there's no new pouches. There's no new dyes. The dyes are different in each section. It's kind of ridiculous that that's just yet another element. The paintings are different in each section. The maps are different in each section. So let's look at our DNA and move on to Venice and just see. Let's see. What DNA section are we in? Sequence 14 is done. Sequence 13 is done. How we didn't do this one, I don't know. But it must just be left out. Everything else we did fine. We played like a lunatic, OCD, and we almost have. So Florence is missing 17 feathers. The only thing I could even convince me that I would want to play and get these feathers, which would just get me 1 cape, and I can prove it will just get me 1 cape because we've done 100% of everything else. And if we go to outfits, there's still cape unlocked. I mean locked. So unless running to this art place would allow me to buy a map, which I don't believe it does, it's just like the first game in the sense it's just not worth your time to run around and try and capture 300 flags. Nope. No treasure maps. No new paintings.
Perhaps another time. Ciao.
So let's see what happens when we quit. I've never actually quit, so we have the truth and all of that, but no new extras, no new options, and just exit the window. So, a buggy game, a game that requires you to play, a game that, because it requires you to play, if you want to get that extra auditory tune for what it was worth, you have to spend Uplay points, which you would have gotten enough to get probably both the Assassin's Crypt and the Altair skin if you wanted to by the end of the game. Incredibly repetitive game though. Incredibly repetitive. If I had done none of the OCD stuff and collected nothing, we would have been done in 20 hours. We would have been done in less. I could have speed run this game right through all the story because there's so little actual story in this. Like, technically some small improvements, even in some of the technicalities though, actually some steps back. It feels like there's less people in the group in the city. It feels like the people in the city do less and talk less. There's less reason to even interact with those people. So it's just kind of more of the same. It's almost equal. I would rate the first game better. That being said, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is the next game we'll play, and I will take a good break between this. I am committed to playing 2 Assassin's Creed games per year until I catch up to whatever the current games is out, which is good because I also know and have said that they are slowing down on how often they release Assassin's Creed games so that they can improve it. A lot of Rome will show up in Brotherhood, so they just should have waited, and Brotherhood should have been their next game, because it's a lot better and it adds a lot more interesting mechanics and helps improve it. They did make some improvements in the fighting mechanics, but it's still the same old issue. I will applaud the game for not crashing and corrupting my save file like it did on the Xbox 360 when I first played it. But nope, I'm not going to go get a save file for 100% of the feathers. It's not worth the time. And then you're just left with a cliffhanger, which is completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable in any game. Because you just never know if you're going to get a video game sequel. And even if you do, it's going to be 2 years down the road. You can't make a movie and stick it in theaters and then say to be continued. Well, James Bond movies do that for a long time, but then they actually told a complete story. There's not much of a complete story when you look at Desmond in any of the Assassin's Creed games. It's over the course of 5 games you have to play to get Desmond's story, which is ridiculous. That's 5 games times $60, $300. $300 to play a video game to get that story, which isn't even good. It's ridiculous. Ezio Auditore's tale here of becoming an assassin could have been a little bit better too. It's just rough and immature in a lot of places. They need better story writers. Hopefully they eventually get to that point. I think they do. Eventually Assassin's Creed does become a much better game. In fact, in the next one it does. Is it really worth it, though, as I wrap up here, to play Assassin's Creed 2? I don't think so. And that's why right now on Steam you can see the most recent article for Assassin's Creed 2 that's been published is all the cutscenes on a YouTube video. Because that's kind of all you needed to do. They need to re-release all for the first 5 games. Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revolution, and 3. If they re-released all those, made it a 25-hour, hard 25-hour game, maybe 100 collectibles between all of those games, and just did the story right, maybe polished the story a little bit, it would be so much better. And get rid of the Animus stuff. It's just in the way now. It's a ridiculous conceit that's not necessary to explain why you're in the past and playing as an assassin, which, I mean, you could have done that in a single title card. You could have said Rome 1482 or Jerusalem 1215. That's all you had to say, and then we would have been in the game of Assassin's Creed. We didn't need anything else. Anywho, that's it for this series. Thank you for watching it. Thank you for going through all of it. It's been a long one. Very, very long. That's about the best thing I can say about the game. It's long. It's too long. It's an average game that's too long. If it had only taken 15 hours to beat the whole game and collect everything, I would have had a much funner time. Well, as always, in my episodes the same way, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me and tells YouTube that my videos are worth watching. If you want to support me even further than that, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. You can click that and make a donation. Also, by clicking on my name, Rydo, and getting to my main YouTube page, there's a playlist tab. You can click that and see a playlist for every game I've ever covered. If for some reason you watched Assassin's Creed 2 all the way through and didn't watch Assassin's Creed 1, I would recommend going watch 1. The comparison in the reverse might be quite interesting. You might pick up a lot of things that I missed and have forgotten about from the first game that are different, but maybe not. Finally, down below in the description box, I have links to all my social medias like Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, and links to friend me on Steam and Battle.net. So if you friend and follow me on all of those services, that helps me with those services, and it helps you know when my newest videos are available to watch. Thank you again for watching, and have a good evening. Bye.